Are we filming? Yes, we are. So welcome to another podcast. And before I start, I'm just going to say I normally do this in one take. As you know, I like doing that because it's sort of very raw that way. But I am almost certainly going to have to edit my coughs out. Thank you for your best wishes. This is something that doesn't happen very often, maybe once or twice a year, where I get this chronic cough. I've had it for years and years and years. So it's incurable. Nothing I can do about it. I just have to ride the storm, as it were. And sometimes it coincides with typically cold and damp weather in the UK, and we've had a lot of that. Just really, really cold and nasty and horribly damp. So I don't want to be a prisoner in my own home, but if I go out, I cover my face with a scarf, and but it's it's got me this time, and it's been going on for weeks, as you know. However, I took some remedial action a few days ago. A mad dash by car, 12 hours of driving, which is a lot of driving just to pick up my iMac, which was at my daughter's house, and I've got it back. So it means that although I can edit on my phone using LumaFusion, which is I'm learning, and it's a really, really good piece of software. Really good. And my iPhone is fantastic in terms of the speed of the processor. It's probably 20 times faster than my iMac, which is about 10 years old. And my iPhone is only 3 years old, but very, very fast. The problem is it's such a small screen. It's really, really fiddly to get the edits right. So, because I need to do some edits because of my cough, I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get the computer back from my daughter's house and do that. Just excuse me a minute, because I'm just going to have a swig of coffee. This is the third of the day. That's better. Certainly, I'm recording this on a weekend, on a Sunday, and it's a coffee day. So I've got effectively what I use as an editing machine back. So I'm just going to crack on and persevere. I did a fun video last night, as you will see. The first video, the first YouTube short I have ever done. Just to digress a little bit, this is a series called the Flatability Test, because it's synonymous with my channel, and sometimes I think it would be good fun to test the flatability of every single binder in my collection over time, not straight away, but it's a fun thing. It's only a few seconds of people's time, but it might build into something that's fun and informative. So there we go. So I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments of what you thought, whether you thought it was ridiculous or whether you thought it was a good laugh. But anyway, it was something I did, and it was triggered by the fact that last night my coughing was so bad. It was very, very hard to even set it up. So I'm back again after a good old coughing fit. But I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so thank you for your best wishes. I've had lots of kind comments. Really appreciate that. What have I been using over the last few days? Well, I'm still using this as my EDC, my Discbound's Atoma based planner, if you like, with to-do lists, and my agenda, if you like, my planner. Working very well. Really, really pleased with that. Interestingly, I've been, instead of, over the last few days, instead of using a Pilot V7, I've been using this, it's, the trade name appears to be Snow White. I haven't done a review of this pen, which I will do, but just a sneak preview. I rate this really, really highly, and the fact that it cost me the equivalent of £1, UK pound, I'm amazed. So I've just dropped the Pilot V7 for the moment, and I'm using this disposable fountain pen. To be honest, it's the first disposable fountain pen I've used. I've got a collection ready to rock and roll, but this one I really, really like. Very, very smooth. Very, very impressed, especially for the money. The fact that it's disposable, that's a little bit tricky from an environmental point of view, but, you know, I am here to review things, not to deliberate on environmental issues. So here it is. And I like it very much from a point of view of how it writes. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I'm putting my Pilot V7 on hold. Typically I'm recording things for posterity in what I call the book, as you've seen a video recently about this, so it doesn't require any further explanation. You'll notice in one of my mail times, I've got this, it's like a cheaper version of the Traveller's Notebook. Fantastic leather smell. Really nice, good quality leather. I mean, I'm not an expert, but it feels good. I've dispensed with this. I'll use that for some other purpose, but I'm thinking very, very carefully about this as a project. Not sure what I'm going to use it for at the moment, but I have big plans for this. I've got a few ideas in my head. But I'm not quite sure how I'm going to use it. But the reason I mention this is because one of my channel members was saying that they have been trying to, they have a problem with putting one of these in their pocket, a discbound planner, because these exposed discs have a habit of catching the edge of the pocket. I don't have such a problem myself because this is a narrow format. If you compare it to the equivalent moleskin, you can see that it's actually no wider. It's no wider than a moleskin, because the paper is narrower from here to here than the equivalent typical A6 notebook, and that perhaps helps me. If you have this in A6, then it would stick out slightly, it would become slightly wider because of the discs sticking out. But I'm working on that. But I've got this idea, a bit of a sneak preview of that. I think that works very, very well. The thing is, because there's nothing to catch your pocket. The thing is, though, and this is sort of genuine A6 size. The thing is, how would you attach the discs inside to the binder without effectively having something that would perhaps catch on someone's pocket? So that is the conundrum. I've been thinking about this over many, many cups of coffee. But I'm working on it. This may, I mean, I'm minded to get another one of these because I was so impressed with how cheap they were and the quality of the leather. I might get another one of these because I want to run 2 experiments. I have an idea in my mind about how I'm going to use this, but it occurred to me over the last few days that it might prove a good way of providing a cover for a discbound planner. But I've got some ideas in my head, but I'm minded to come up with an idea because this, to be honest, this leather feels absolutely marvelous, you know, fantastic quality. You know, it's just on the drawing board, as it were, at the moment. So what else have I been doing? Not too much because of the health thing, but I am busy compiling a. No, I won't even go there because it might not come to fruition. But there's a project that I'm working on behind the scenes which may benefit everybody. We'll see. Okay. Question from a viewer. How do I filter through the many video ideas I have to decide which video to make? Now, as I've said a couple of times before, maybe more, I have a couple of hundred, at least a couple of hundred ideas for videos that I have yet to make, and I've just passed the 200 video barrier. So I've done a lot of work over the last 2.5 years and intend to be around to do some more, and I'm going to stop here for another cough. And we're back in the room. So how do I decide and filter through the many video ideas I have to decide which videos I make? Well, I originally thought of the chronological order, but there are some video ideas there that are over a year old, and they've been superseded. They've been overtaken by other things. So I don't do them in chronological order. I look through them and I pick them at random. Sometimes the video I make is the one that I have most recently thought of. So there's no rhyme nor reason, but I will get through them eventually. How long will it take to produce another 200 videos? Probably, well, I've been working at roughly 100 videos a year. So two a week on average, which I think is fairly consistent. Although I will show you, if I can, I will insert an image here which shows the hours watched over the last year. And it shows there has been a time where my cough has been so bad I have just stopped making videos completely for weeks and weeks and weeks. But I don't really want to do that now. I really want to persevere because I feel the need to do this, frankly. It's become less of a hobby and more of a passion. So I intend to push through, and if I can do it in such a way through editing to get through videos when I'm coughing, then I will do that simply by editing. It was a double whammy over the last 3 or 4 weeks because I became very ill. And then I had a cough that's a legacy of that. So apart from the cough, I feel absolutely fantastic. I do a lot of walking and cycling and exercises and far more. I mean, I've lost a lot of weight. I've lost 5 kilos in the last month, which is, I'm quite proud of that. I feel really good, really good. I feel very strong and fit and healthy. Superficially, but that's good. And from a mental, not that I suffer from mental health problems, but I do appreciate other people do. And I would say if I was suffering from any mental health issues, which are very common, then I would say that doing exercise is a good tonic for if you are unfortunate enough to feel a bit down about things. So I luckily that doesn't affect me. I just think, how can I get around this issue? How can I achieve this thing? And sometimes where there's a will, there's a way. That's what I'm saying, at least for me. I am so there's no rhyme nor reason to what videos I will do, but they will be done. And by the time I've done the next 200, I will probably have another 200 ready to rock and roll. So I don't think there's any end to this. It's a very, very wide-ranging subject, and because I'm now kind of branching out. I mean, this channel started with just vintage filofaxes, and then I did some more modern filofaxes, and then I did some notebooks, and then I got into the psychology of paper-based productivity and some philosophy thrown in. I mean, it's just it's become more wide-ranging. I think that the likelihood is, because of the way my mind works, I'm constantly thinking of things, not just this channel, but other channels as well. This is, now I'm retired. I'm not actually, I mean, is this work? I don't see it as work because it's such an enjoyable therapeutic process for me to make these videos. I'm in my 60s and retired. But if this sort of thing was available in my 20s, I would have loved to have done this for the rest of my life. I really, really enjoy doing this. Now, I'm waffling now, so let me get back to the next question. Okay, have you ever thought about sharing the names of your other channels? I wouldn't expect to see any new content on them, but it would be nice to see some more of your older content outside this channel. Well, this is an interesting thing, and it's been asked before, but I brought this up in this podcast because there's going to be a change. I counted them up. If you include the channels where I've just got one video on that channel, and I decided it wasn't such a good idea afterwards, but it was like a pilot episode, if you like, a pilot video, and then I thought, no, not really. That's not really such a good idea, and I'm going to cough again. So there is a change, as you know, and I think it's because some of you have subscribed to the channel that is featured at the bottom of my homepage, called Coffee with Neil, which is primarily for my grandchildren. It's a bit like this, you leave something for future generations in the book. And so on YouTube, as it stands now, I have this channel called Coffee with Neil. It's a very, very random channel. Why is it called Coffee with Neil? Because originally it was one of my many channels where I filmed myself making coffee while I was in the mountains or camping or in the car, or various, mainly outdoor, almost all outdoor. I'm a big coffee drinker, although for my sins I drink any sort of coffee. I'm such a philistine. Even if it's cheap instant coffee from, in this case, Tesco. I think this is one of the cheapest brands. It's called Gold Blends, which is quite a famous but cheap budget coffee brand in the UK. But it's okay. It tastes okay to my unsophisticated palate. I started this channel called Coffee with Neil because it was like to do with coffee. But then I quickly discovered that it quickly transformed itself into a channel where I just decided to put a lot of stuff from other channels into this one channel to give a representative view for my grandchildren of the things that I'm interested in, because they were tuning into my channel on the TV before they went to school, which tugs at the heartstrings a little bit, doesn't it? If you discover that your grandchildren are watching you sort of before they go to school. So there are some. So there are just a handful. Some have been deleted because I thought they're not great for my grandchildren. So there's just a handful there. But I'm not going to, in answer to the viewer's question, I'm not going to give out the names of the other 20 channels, because frankly some of them are really rubbish. I've got one, for instance, that discusses the technical side of binaural audio. Well, it's a very, very dry subject, and although that sort of thing fascinates me, it's probably not going to interest anybody else. However, this is the thing. Soon I am going to start putting I'm going to be adding random videos from my other channels onto the Coffee with Neil channel, and it's not a commercial project. I'm not aiming to generate any revenue from it, but it is. Okay. So the golden advice, the advice for any YouTuber, budding YouTuber, is to specialize. Don't have a channel that has you on holiday 1 minute and then fixing your car the next, because no one's going to watch that. It's not going to build into some huge thing. But at the end of the day, that isn't my aim. And I've thought about this, and there are probably some people that might want to watch all sorts of stuff, all sorts of random stuff. Whether they like it or don't like it, it won't really matter, because the main focus is to add videos on there for the benefit of my grandchildren mainly, but I do appreciate that other people enjoy them too. So it's going to be a random channel. I know I'm waffling now, but it's just rather than have links to all these different channels, I think it's highly unlikely that anyone will be offended by the fact that there becomes an eclectic and disparate collection of videos on this one Coffee with Neil channel. But my intention isn't to attract a huge viewing audience who, it's just going to a depository of things that I'm interested in, where I've made videos. And so there is just going to be the one. There are a couple of channels where I am in the process of commercializing them, if you like, and I'm very, very serious about that. But that's not really something that's developed yet. But I'm going to, in answer to the person's question, the viewer's question, it's going to be the one channel, and there's going to be quite a lot of material being I nearly said dumped on there, and that's not the word. Added to this collection of videos, which may be interesting for people or may not, and people can take me as they find me. But I'm just going to cough again. How are we doing? 25 minutes. Not too bad. I didn't even put out my my hourglass today, because I knew that it was going to be fairly short. But I've got down here the Flatability Project, but I've already discussed this in the introduction. A series of very short shorts to effectively document with a bit of fun the flatability of each binder in my collection. So I'm going to wind it up there, because obviously I've been struggling through this video, but I'm very, very pleased that I didn't. Oh, that is a lot of editing to do, but focus Neil. I didn't think I'd be able to get through this, but the editing will take care of that. So I really want to push forward now, and now I've got my iMac back from my daughter's house. Then I've got an ability to edit with ease. If I'm probably going to end up, the next iMac I buy will have the M series processor, and then I will be able to use LumaFusion to edit on the big screen, as it were. But for now, I'm limited to my iPhone, which is very small. Can't really cope with the editing. I mean, I can do the editing, but it's a lot easier on an iMac if you're doing lots of cuts. But yeah, I'm pleased that I managed to get it, and so I'm kind of back in business. What are my plans for the next week? Essentially, as much as I can. In fact, the next video, which I'm probably going to do later on today, excuse me, I don't know whether I'll cut that out or not, but anyway, is this. I've been meaning to do this, another review. I mean, I've got so many reviews. What I want to do is just focus on some of the reviews over the next month or so, starting with this, and I will let you know what it is very, very shortly. Thanks for watching or listening, as the case may be. And for those that are listening, I was just holding up a filofax A5 binder, whose identity will be revealed soon. Thanks for watching, and for now, bye for now.